welcome back to my channel, as we are here to bring you a review of basically a Switch 2 racing game, or a racing game series that is returning to the Switch in 2026. In fact, it has appeared on the Switch before, and it's finally returning with its third game in 2026, which, lo and behold, is actually available as we speak. You can actually buy the game right this minute if you fancy checking this game out. And the game in question we're going to be reviewing here is the game referred to as Gear Club Ultimate 3, a game from Nacon and Eden Games that are responsible for the development of this game. You probably wonder, well, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, of course, so make sure to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's go through some of the bullet points of what makes the return of the Cult series very special on Switch 2. So let's begin. To give you a bit of an insight, Gear Club Ultimate Unlimited 3 is obviously a game made by Nacon and Eden Games. It basically launches a new installment of this successful Automotion franchise. It optimized to take full advantage of the place of the Nintendo Switch 2. Obviously, the series DNA is still there, the immediate fun, the accessible realism, the rich content, as well as some new features that basically helps bring the game to life on Switch 2. And there's two different redesigned experiences that go with this game, such as Lee Japano, which of course is a critical of mythical and Bible car culture. And then you got the Mediterranean coast, which offers a sunny and a more tactical landscape. So if you're looking for a more sunny driving experience, then this is where you would want to go. Obviously, this series has managed to capture more than 22 million players in its previous franchises, and now they're back stronger than ever for their third installment of the game. So in terms of some of the features that you're probably wondering what some of those features are, the Gear Club Ultimate 3, Japano basically takes Japan to a center stage, because obviously this is set in Japan, and one of its features that is obviously very important to the game is the fact that they've got a whole story mode that invites you to travel between France and Japan, and basically revolving around two racing cultures that respond to each to and enrich one another. So you'll have a chance to go from France all the way to Japan and explore like part of that journey to Japan with all these different cars that you're going to be able to play around with. Of course, there's also the fact that the electric atmosphere with the Mediterranean coast region offers a complete different feeling to the game, which is very, very beneficial. As you can see, it gives you such a lovely, sunny, and sort of a summery experience. If you're looking for that sort of summery driving experience, then this is where you would want to go. For that sort of experience, you would want to go to the Mediterranean coast to get that opportunity. Now, in terms of some of the unlockables that are available, there are 50 tracks, variety of modes, so there's a lot of, obviously the customization has been expanded from medical upgrades to elements like hooks and Nio lights to more advanced stuff like Fable parts, and you basically get to shape the car that you want essentially by customizing so many different parts of the car to make it the best it can be, basically. And then there's a career mode that enriches the better pace and offers progression that basically takes you between France, Japan, and the Mediterranean. You'll basically get to go to these 3 different regions as part of the career mode, and then they've even added some more depth and to the player journey, essentially. So you have more depth when you're experiencing this career mode, and it's quite an experience. If you love driving games, then yeah, this is definitely going to be an experience. Now, in terms of the multiplayer aspect of this game, there's an option to play in split screen, or you can compete in a highway mode. Yes, there's a highway mode in there. Or you can participate in community challenges like some other racing games do. Community challenges are usually just fun little engagements that you do in the open world that you might fancy, trying to beat a certain goal. Now, in terms of the highway mode, for those who are wondering what this mode entails, it's a first for the franchise, which introduces this sort of gaming experience that invites drivers to basically travel across the highway network between France and Japan. So you're basically going to be racing for quite a distance, I will say. They offers different gameplay styles. It focuses on high speed, total vehicle control, and essentially to try and test your driving skills, essentially, is what this does. It basically tests your reflex to two different distinct experiences. So you have the highway rush, which this mode is essentially beat the clock. You're racing against the clock, and your objective is to reach a specific point before the timer runs out. However, though, every second the driver can gain a precious time by maintaining high speed or narrowly missing their other vehicles will basically increase add time to your timer so that you have a bit more time to get there. But if you do crash into the vehicle, you'll lose time and you'll probably basically run out of time by the time you get to the finish line. Or you can go for the other option, which is the endless mode, which is simply for those who just want to enjoy the chance to speed and basically just take in the experience. Then the endless mode is essentially what this does. It essentially gives you the freedom to basically have that opportunity to just have the infinite playground in the highway and just drive like how you want to drive, essentially. Along with that, there is basically an option to do this either in single player or multiplayer, and it promises basically different, long gaming sessions, whether it's speed or strategy, is the key to success. So however you want to play, whether you want to play on high speed or you want to play with like strategy, then they're going to be your ways of being successful in these modes if you're wanting to test yourself as a driver. Now, as you can probably tell, with a game like this, it obviously comes with so many different cars. Well, there is tons of cars in here. There's cars from Asia, cars from North America, cars from Middle East, and then there's even cars from the Deluxe Edition. Yes, there is a Deluxe Edition you can get. We'll talk about that pretty shortly. And of course, there's cars from Europe as well. Lots of unique cars from Europe that you're going to be able to choose from. And you can basically just decide which car fits your personality and what fits you, essentially. There's going to be plenty of options in terms of which cars you feel fits your play style. You pick the car and try out all these different cars and see which car fits your play style and go with that, because there's plenty of opportunities. Yeah, and obviously these cars will let you know what is able to perform what, and basically the different speeds these cars will be able to do for you, as they'll show you all the stats as soon as you're looking at all the cars, so then you'll know which car you're interested in picking up. Now, of course, in terms of the optimization for Switch 2, because I know some of you are going to be very technical to want to know, is this game going to look really nice? Well, as you can see in the footage, it's taken advantage of many capabilities of Switch 2, remastered graphics, enriched environments, detailed textures. It's even increased the fidelity and improved animation. There's even optimized loading times. The loading times are a bit better now. And there's a more precise gameplay thanks to the improved sticks and feedback. So the controls are even better. Because the Switch 2 controllers are better, it means the gameplay is going to be better for you. So you're basically getting a lot of the upgrades that Switch 2 is offering in the Gear Club franchise. You're now going to be able to experience in this new version that supports Switch 2 like never before, essentially. It's going to be great. Now, of course, for many of you who want to get your hands on Deluxe Edition content, you're probably wondering what sort of cars are available. Now, of course, the pre-order bonuses are available for those who had pre-ordered leading up to the launch. They should be available for those who do decide to buy the game. You should be able to get them, or you can buy them, should be able to get them separately as DLC. right now if you're looking to get your hands on some of these deluxe edition content. If you're curious what the cars are in the deluxe edition, even though they gave you 3 days early access, you will basically have access to the performance car pack, which has 3 prestigious cars, which are the NASA the GTR R35, or the NASA 3700, and which is another vehicle in there. And you've also got the Magical Wild is another car, that some really high speedy cars, like I guess you could say sports cars, you can get your hands on as the deluxe edition vehicles. And they've even come with a starter pack that gives you a real boost in progression with over 2,000 credits, 200,000 credits, as well as bonus resources and 2 additional engineers that will help you sort of upgrade your vehicle right out of the box. There's even customization packs as part of this bundle as well, where you'll have lots of other ways to customize your vehicle. So there's plenty of stuff to enjoy in the deluxe edition if you're looking to upgrade, take advantage of many of these upgrades that are part of this edition. In terms of the pre-order bonus cars that came with this game, you had the Honda 22,000 that was edition that got a release, along with the BMW C, were both released as part of pre-order editions for this game. So you can now obviously get those if you have pre-ordered the game, which is available now. And by the way, for anybody who isn't on Switch 2, there is good news for you, because later this year it will be coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox, which means if you're a PlayStation and Xbox player and you want to play this game, good news is it is coming to your platform later this year, which is really helpful for any PC, PlayStation, or Xbox players who want to get their hands on this game. You hopefully you'll find out soon, later this year, when you guys will be able to play. They haven't said, unfortunately, the developers haven't said officially when it's going to come out on these platforms this year, but all they're saying right now is that it's coming later this year, so make sure to stay tuned for updates as to when you're going to be able to have access. But in the meantime, however, that is pretty much a glimpse at some of the additions this game has to offer, if you're curious about what this game has in store for you. And of course, I might as well, to round off the video, obviously show off some additional gameplay if you want to see the game for yourselves, and maybe even decide if you're thinking about maybe getting the Switch 2 as it's available there. Or if you're thinking about waiting for the PS5, PlayStation, Xbox, or even PC release later this year to get your hands on this. Who knows? However you want to play this game, I hope this driving game is going to be enough to maybe give you something to do whilst you're waiting for Horizon 6 to arrive and many other racing games to release. I'm sure a lot of you are looking forward to Horizon 6. Especially if you're on PlayStation and you haven't got access to it. You can always play this one on Switch 2, and it will give you your sort of craving before Horizon 6 comes to PlayStation later this year, fingers crossed. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy the gameplay that is showcased here. Be sure to let me know if you're thinking about maybe getting yourself a Switch 2 to play this title, or if you prefer to wait for your preferred platform to offer this game. Without further ado, I am Summers Universe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.